November 11th, 1942, Stalingrad, Soviet Union. Dawn struggles to exist over a city that no longer resembles a city at all. The Volga breathes cold mist into streets that have been crushed into rubble, and the ruins answer back with silence. Brick dust floats in the air like grey snow. Somewhere beneath collapsed beams and twisted iron, rats move freely, unafraid. Human voices have learned to whisper here. From the German side of the front, Lieutenant Karl Weiss tightens his scarf and peers through the haze. His infantry platoon has orders to clear another block near the Red October factory. Intelligence reports say the sector is abandoned. No movement. No resistance. Just dead walls and burned shells of buildings. Weiss does not believe it, but orders are orders. In Stalingrad, disbelief no longer saves anyone. Across the shattered street, inside what was once a 5-story apartment building, Sergeant Ivan Petrov lies motionless beneath a slab of concrete. He has been there since before sunrise. His Mosin Nagant rests against broken brick, the barrel wrapped in cloth to dull its shine. The scope lens is smeared with soot. He breathes slowly, counting heartbeats, listening to the city like a living creature. Above him, the building is hollowed out. Below him, the floor has collapsed into darkness. The Germans call this place dead. Petrov knows better. Ruins are never empty. Petrov is not famous. He is not a propaganda poster or a newspaper hero. He is one of dozens of Soviet snipers trained for this very hell. Before the war, he hunted deer near Now he hunts men who march in columns and believe rubble cannot see them. He has already killed 12 since being assigned to this sector. Each shot was taken from a different position. Each body was left where it fell. The Germans learnt nothing. Through the scope, Petrov sees movement. A helmet first, then a rifle barrel, then boots crunching on glass. German infantry enter the street cautiously, rifles raised, fingers tense. They advance in groups of 3, hugging walls, scanning windows. Weiss signals them forward. No gunfire answers. No grenades. The street feels wrong, too quiet. To open, Petrov adjusts his position by centimeters. He has been watching this intersection for days. He knows which bricks crumble and which ones hold weight. He knows the exact distance to the lamppost with the bent arm and the burned-out truck beside it. 180 meters. Perfect. The first shot cracks the air and echoes between the ruins. A German soldier drops instantly, the bullet punching through his helmet and snapping his neck back. His body hits the ground before the sound fades. Confusion erupts. Men dive for cover. Weiss shouts orders, pointing at windows, screaming for suppressing fire. Machine guns open up, stitching bullets across empty walls. Glass explodes. Plaster rains down. But the sniper is already gone. Petrov has rolled sideways, dragging his rifle, melting into shadow. He does not fire again. He waits. Patience is survival here. The Germans waste ammunition on ghosts, convinced the threat is above them, to the left, somewhere obvious. It is not. It is everywhere. Minutes pass. Then more movement. Medics rush forward to pull the wounded back. Officers expose themselves for just a second longer than the others. That second is enough. Another shot. Then another. Each one measured, each one fatal. A lieutenant falls backward, eyes wide, mouth open, hands still signaling an advance that will never come. Panic spreads. Orders overlap. A machine gun crew collapses when the gunner slumps forward, a hole punched clean through his temple. By midday, the street is littered with bodies. The Germans pull back, shaken. They leave the dead where they lie. Weiss survives, barely. He files a report that night. Enemy sniper, possibly multiple. Estimated kills unknown. Area not secure. Petrov counts 11 that day. He carves no marks. He keeps no tally on his rifle. Numbers mean nothing to him. Only effectiveness matters. That night, he relocates again, crawling through debris, using sewer openings and collapsed stairwells to vanish. The ruins swallow him whole. Over the next days, the pattern repeats. German patrols enter sectors labeled cleared. Shots come from nowhere. Men fall without warning. Entire squads freeze, afraid to move, afraid to breathe. Rumors spread. A ghost sniper, a demon in the walls. Some say the buildings themselves are killing them. German commanders respond with artillery. They shell the ruins relentlessly, turning rubble into finer rubble. But destruction only creates more hiding places, more angles, more darkness. For Petrov, the city becomes a weapon. By the end of the week, his count reaches 24, then 30, then more. Each kill slows the German advance. Each corpse erodes morale. Soldiers begin refusing to cross open streets. Supply runs stall. Attacks are delayed. One unseen man has frozen an entire sector, and the Germans still believe the ruins are empty. November 14th, 1942. Stalingrad does not sleep. It only pauses between explosions. The German command no longer doubts the sniper's existence. They fear him. Reports pile up, each one more frantic than the last. Units refuse to advance without artillery preparation. Officers avoid standing upright. Runners crawl instead of run. A single unseen rifle has achieved what battalions could not. Major Erich Haller studies a crude map inside a shattered command post. He circles the same streets again and again. Too many casualties. Too precise. This is not random fire. This is discipline. Haller orders a counter-sniper team forward. 2 men. Jeffreiter, Otto Klein, and Unteroffizier Franz Muller. Both veterans, both trained marksmen. Their mission is simple. Find him. Kill him. They move at first light, slipping through rubble with the same care as their prey. Klein carries a scoped carabiner, 98K Moller carries binoculars and grenades. They know the rules. Never silhouette, never linger, never assume safety. The city punishes arrogance. Across the street, Petrov senses the change immediately. The Germans are no longer panicked. They are deliberate. Their fire is controlled. Their movement slow. He recognizes the signs because he was trained to read them. Someone is looking for him now. Petrov relocates again, abandoning a position that has already served him well. He crawls through a collapsed hallway, dragging his rifle through dust and broken glass. His uniform is torn, indistinguishable from the ruins themselves. He climbs higher into the upper floors of a factory administration building that lost its roof weeks ago. From here, the city opens up. Streets intersect like veins. Smoke curls upward, hiding movement below. He waits. Klein spots the glint first. Not a scope. Not a rifle barrel. A fraction of movement where there should be none. He signals Muller. They freeze. Minutes stretch. Then Klein fires. The bullet punches into brick inches from where Petrov's head had been seconds earlier. Petrov does not flinch. He had already shifted. He fires once. Muller drops instantly, the round catching him in the chest as he leans forward to throw a grenade. The explosion never comes. Klein retreats, heart pounding, crawling backward into cover. He has confirmed it. One sniper, highly skilled, highly mobile, and patient. The duel lasts all day. Shots echo sporadically, separated by long silences. Both men change positions repeatedly, trying to predict each other's next move. Dust clouds betray nothing. The city absorbs sound, distorts distance. Each trigger pull is a gamble. By dusk, Klein makes a mistake. Exhaustion dulls his caution. He peers too long from behind a steel beam. Petrov sees the outline before the face. He fires without hesitation. The body slumps forward, caught halfway between cover and confidence. The Germans lose their hunters. Petrov gains time. Over the next 4 days, the killings accelerate. With the counter-sniper threat eliminated, Petrov operates with brutal efficiency. He targets officers first, signalers second, anyone carrying maps or radios. Entire units lose cohesion within minutes of entering his sector. German soldiers begin calling the ruins a death trap. Some refuse to enter at all. PETROV changes firing points constantly. Upper floors, stairwells, collapsed balconies. Once, he fires from inside a burned-out boiler, the metal amplifying the shot so it sounds like it came from somewhere else entirely. Another time, he uses a mirror shard to observe without exposing himself. By November 18th, his count reaches 58. The Germans finally abandon the sector. They bombard it heavily and pull back, conceding ground rather than bleed further. For days afterward, no one enters the ruins. Not German, not Soviet. The area becomes a dead zone, feared by both sides. Petrov receives new orders that night. Relocate across the Volga. Train younger snipers. Pass on what he has learned. He obeys without protest. Snipers are tools. Tools are moved where they are needed. As he leaves, he looks back once at the shattered buildings that kept him alive. 58 men died believing those ruins were empty. They were not. They were watching. November 20th, 1942. The eastern bank of the Volga shudders as artillery thunder rolls across the frozen water. The Soviet counteroffensive is beginning. Operation Uranus is no longer a plan. It is motion in steel and fire. Petrov crosses the river at night, packed into a low wooden boat with other survivors pulled from the city's front line. None of them speak. Faces are hollow. Eyes sunken. Every man carries the weight of Stalingrad in his bones. When the boat scrapes the far bank, Petrov steps off without ceremony. The city behind him burns like a dying star. He is taken not to rest, but to a cellar-turned training post. A dozen young soldiers wait inside, rifles across their knees. Some are barely 20. One still smells of farm soil. They look at Petrov with a mixture of curiosity and fear. They have heard stories, not numbers, stories. Men disappearing, streets that killed on their own. A captain introduces him simply. Sergeant Ivan Petrov. Urban sniper, no applause, no questions. Petrov does not want either. Training begins immediately. Petrov teaches them how ruins breathe. How a destroyed building shifts in the wind. How broken glass reflects light at certain hours. How smoke can be used not just as concealment, but as a signal. He shows them how to fire once and vanish. How to never fall in love with a position. How to let the enemy believe they are fighting ghosts. He tells them what he learned the hard way. That the enemy will always hunt the sniper eventually. That survival depends on anticipation, not reaction. That patience is more lethal than speed. At night, artillery flashes light the cellar walls. Some of the trainees flinch. Petrov does not. He cleans his rifle in silence, hands steady. His war is quieter, but no less violent. Across the river, German forces feel the absence immediately. Patrols advance more boldly at first, relieved to escape the invisible killer. Then they encounter new ones, younger, less experienced, but trained in the same doctrine. One sniper becomes many. The ruins regain their teeth. German reports begin mentioning a pattern: elevated fire, constant relocation, officers targeted. Morale collapses faster than manpower. What Petrov did alone is now multiplied across the front. Weeks later, word reaches the training post. 6th Army is encircled. The trap has closed. Stalingrad has become a grave. Petrov listens without expression. Victory here tastes like ash. Too many are already dead. Too many more will be before it ends. In January, he is sent back into the city, this time as overwatch for advancing infantry. The ruins are colder now. Frozen corpses lie half buried in snow and brick. Some of them are his work. He does not linger on that thought. German resistance is desperate. Snipers fire from attics and sewer openings. Petrov engages them methodically, applying the same principles he once used alone. The hunter and hunted roles blur. This is no longer dominance. It is extermination. On February 2nd, 1943, the guns fall silent. The battle is over. Stalingrad is officially liberated, though nothing resembling life remains. Petrov stands among the wreckage, rifles slung low, looking at a city that consumed hundreds of thousands. Somewhere beneath the rubble, 58 German soldiers lie exactly where they fell. Victims of a war fought one breath at a time. Petrov survives the war. He returns home years later, thin, quiet, and unremarkable to those who do not know what he did. He does not speak of Stalingrad unless asked, and even then only in fragments. But the ruins remember. They remember the man who proved they were never empty. February 1943 leaves Stalingrad standing in name only. When the snow begins to melt, the city exhales what it has been hiding. Bodies surface from beneath collapsed walls. Helmets emerge from ice. Rifles lie where hands released them for the last time. The distinction between German and Soviet blurs beneath layers of dust, blood, and brick. Victory does not arrive with cheers here. It arrives with exhaustion. Petrov remains on the front line for several weeks after the surrender. He is no longer operating alone. He moves as part of a larger machine now, directing younger snipers, positioning overwatch teams, signaling advances with single controlled shots. The ruins still belong to him. Every shattered window, every half-collapsed stairwell, every burned-out factory floor speaks a language he understands instinctively. German prisoners are moved through the sector one morning, thin, hollow-eyed. Some refuse to look up at the buildings. One of them breaks down, speaking rapidly until a translator catches up. His unit stopped advancing days before the surrender, not because of Soviet firepower, but because men kept falling without warning. No muzzle flashes, no sound to react to, just a body hitting the ground and the certainty that something unseen was watching. Petrov listens from a distance. He does not step forward. He does not correct the numbers. 58 is never spoken aloud. Numbers live quietly in the mind, not on the tongue. As the Red Army consolidates the city, Petrov's role changes again. He is ordered to document techniques, angles, movement patterns. What began as individual survival becomes doctrine. Urban sniper warfare is no longer improvisation. It is method, elevation, patience, psychological collapse before physical destruction. The ruins of Stalingrad become a classroom written in blood. Weeks later, he leaves the city for the final time. Snow falls lightly, settling over debris, softening the edges of devastation. From a distance, Stalingrad almost looks peaceful. Up close, it is nothing but scars. Petrov survives the war. He returns to civilian life without ceremony. No parade waits for him. No photograph is taken. In official records, his name appears briefly, attached to a unit designation and a list of operational notes. History moves on, years pass. Stalingrad is rebuilt. New buildings rise where ruins once stood. Children play in streets that were once killing fields. People live full lives without knowing what those walls witnessed, or what hid within them. Sometimes, late at night, Petrov wakes suddenly. A sharp sound echoes in his memory. His hand reaches instinctively, searching for a rifle that is no longer there. Then the room settles. Silence returns. When asked about the war, he never tells stories. He offers only a single sentence, spoken flat and without drama. They thought the ruins were empty. He never adds what came next. He does not need to, because the ruins were never empty. They were watching. If stories like this matter to you, stories where history is not numbers but breath, fear and human resolve, then this channel is for you. Subscribe now to stand inside the moments that textbooks rush past, where one decision, one position, one person can change everything. History does not live in dates alone. It lives in silence, in ruins, and in the choices people made when no one was watching. Stay here, because the next story is waiting.